Have you ever sat down to write fully expecting an avalanche of brilliance, only to find yourself staring at a blinking cursor, feeling the weight of every passing second? And yet, on some magical days, words seem to spill onto the page without effort. Time becomes an illusion and you feel unstoppable. This state of pure immersion and effortless creativity is known as the flow state. And if you're anything like me, an indie author constantly adulting, tapping into that sweet spot can feel like discovering a secret superpower. Picture this. It's late at night, the soft glow of your lamp spilling onto your notebook or keyboard. The house is quiet, it's just you, your thoughts, and a steaming mug of coffee. Suddenly you feel it, that surge of clarity. Your mind and fingers are perfectly in sync, and ideas flow so quickly that you can barely keep up. Minutes turn into hours, and before you know it, you've written more than you thought possible. That's flow. And here's the best part. Flow isn't just a happy accident. It's something you can create with the right strategies. Let's break down the key components of flow as identified by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. I butchered that, so I'm just gonna put his name right here. I'm sorry for butchering that. He is the psychologist who coined the term flow state. First up is total immersion. Imagine being so absorbed in your work that time seems to disappear. Hours feel like minutes and nothing else exists except you and the task at hand. It's that magical moment when you forget to check your phone or even notice the clock. Second one is effortless action. Everything just clicks. The ideas flow, the words come naturally, and it feels as though you're tapping into something greater than yourself. It's not forced, it's smooth, organic, and almost automatic. Finally, the intrinsic reward. The best part, the sense of accomplishment you feel even before you finish. It's not about hitting a word count or impressing anyone. It's about the pure satisfaction of creating something meaningful, at least meaningful to you. So why should you, as a writer, care about achieving flow state? Simple, because it's a game changer. In a state of flow, that pesky inner critic finally shuts up. It's like giving your creativity the green light to take bold risks and explore uncharted territory. You're not second guessing every word, you're just letting it pour out. When you're in flow, you're not just writing, you're flying. You're flying through your word count goals. Tasks that might normally take hours feel effortless, and you're amazed by how much you can accomplish in a short amount of time. Writing stops being a grind and starts being a joy. You walk away from your sessions not just satisfied but confident and energized, ready to tackle the next creative challenge. Flow isn't just a buzzword, it's the ultimate writing superpower. And the best part, with the right mindset and strategies, it's something you can tap into again and again. Have you ever sat down to write in the morning, staring at the screen only to produce a few lackluster sentences? And then, at midnight, when you're supposed to be winding down, ideas suddenly flood into your brain, and the words practically write themselves. That's not just coincidence, it's your circadian rhythm talking. Some of us are early risers, the kind who spring out of bed, coffee in hand, and have 1,000 words down before most people are awake. Others come alive at night, finding their creative spark when the rest of the world is asleep. And here's the thing, come close to my face. It's not just about being a morning or night person. There's another layer to this. Your body doesn't just run on 24-hour cycle. Every 90 to 120 minutes, you go through waves of high and low energy, known as ultradian rhythm. These natural peaks are your prime time for deep focused work, like writing. During these high energy windows, your brain is firing on all cylinders, making it the perfect time to tackle creative tasks. But after about 90 minutes, your energy dips. That's when it's time to recharge with a mini break. Stand up, stretch, maybe take a few deep breaths. Think of it as refueling your creative engine. If you want to work smarter, not harder, try this. Keep a small diary or log on your phone for 1 week. Note the times you feel most alert, focused, and creative. Look for patterns. Do you notice consistent peaks of energy in the morning, afternoon slumps, late night bursts of inspiration? Once you've identified your natural rhythms, reserve your most important writing tasks for those peak periods. By working with your body's natural rhythms instead of against them, you can unlock your full creative potential. Writing doesn't have to feel like a battle. It can feel like flow. Cue, routine, reward. Sounds simple, right? But it's one of the most effective ways to build a sustainable writing practice. Let me tell you how it works in my day-to-day. Every morning, I brew a cup of Nespresso. Actually, the Nespresso does the brewing for me. As the rich aroma fills the air, my brain instantly clicks into the writing mode. That's my cue. I sit down, open my laptop, and dive into writing. That's the routine. After 25 minutes of focused work, I reward myself with a quick visit to the snacks cabinet. It's a little treat I look forward to, and it keeps me motivated. My back pimples like it too. TMI. That simple habit loop taps into your brain's natural wiring. By linking a specific cue to a productive routine and a satisfying reward, you create a mental shortcut that makes writing feel automatic, almost effortless. Let's start by picking a cue. Choose something sensory that signals it's time to write. It could be lighting a specific candle, playing a particular playlist, or even putting on writing socks. Next up is for you to establish a routine. Once your cue is in place, sit down and write. No distractions. Resist the urge to scroll through social media or get lost in a Netflix rabbit hole. Finally, acknowledge the reward. After completing your session, take a moment to enjoy the satisfaction of progress, or treat yourself to something small. A piece of chocolate, like what I do, and a few minutes of stretching, or even a walk outside. Over time, your brain will learn to associate your cue with writing. And the best part, this habit loop makes it easier to overcome resistance and sink into your work. Before you know it, writing won't feel like a chore. It will feel as natural as brewing that morning cup of tea or coffee for me. Let me introduce you to one of the simplest yet most effective tools for staying focused, the Pomodoro technique, which you probably already heard of. Here's how it works. You set a timer for 25 minutes and commit to doing nothing but writing. When the timer buzzes, you take a 5-minute break to stretch, grab a drink, or just breathe. Congratulations, you've completed one Pomodoro. Now repeat this cycle. After 4 sessions, you've earned a longer break, 15 to 30 minutes to recharge before diving back in. The real beauty of this technique lies in those 25 minutes of focused work. You're laser sharp, knowing that a break is just around the corner. But here's a variation that I think is perfect for writers, the 50-10 rule. Instead of 25 minutes, you work for 15 minutes and take a 10-minute break. And why does this work so well for writers? Because 50 minutes gives you enough time to hit your stride, settle into your story, and maybe even experience that coveted flow state longer. Picture this. You sit down with your timer, the world fades away as you focus on your story. Your word count steadily climbs, 200, 500, 1,000 words, all because you blocked out distractions and committed to these short, powerful sprints. And when the break comes, you feel refreshed and ready to tackle the next session. Now let's talk about distractions, because one of the hardest lessons I've learned is that your phone is a productivity landmine. The moment you swipe to check one notification, you're sucked into a vortex, and before you know it, 20 minutes are gone. Even worse, studies show it can take up to 15 to 23 minutes to regain full concentration after an interruption. So how do you minimize distractions and protect your momentum? Choose a spot where you feel calm and focused. It could be a quiet room or a cozy corner of a cafe, as long as it's away from noisy distractions. Activate Do Not Disturb mode on your devices. If social media tempts you, use apps like Freedom or Cold Turkey to block it temporarily. Let those around you know your schedule. Say something like, from 9 to 10, I'm in writing mode. Please only interrupt if it's urgent. Remember, studies show it can take up to 15 to 23 minutes to regain full concentration after an interruption. This is where the 50-10 rule truly shines more than Pomodoro. With a clear focus and distractions out of the way, those 15 minutes become your most productive writing time. And the 10-minute break, it's your reward, a chance to recharge and come back stronger. Ever notice how you magically become a productivity machine the night before an essay is due? Suddenly your focus sharpens and the words just flow. Now compare that to the times you've had weeks to finish a project but barely made any progress. That's the Yerkes-Dodson law in action. Here's the idea. A little bit of stress, the good kind, can actually enhance your performance. It gives you the push you need to focus and get things done. But there's a catch. Too much stress? It leads to panic and burnout. Too little stress? You're left feeling unmotivated and sluggish. The key is finding that sweet spot where the pressure isn't overwhelming but it's enough to keep you moving forward. So how do you harness this principle to boost your writing productivity? Here are 3 steps. Break down your big goals into smaller, manageable chunks. Instead of saying finish this chapter by next month, aim for something like write 500 words by Thursday. These mini goals create a sense of urgency without feeling overwhelming. Sometimes all you need is a little external pressure. Tell a friend, a writing buddy, or group that you'll send them a snippet of your work. Knowing someone is expecting it can spark just enough motivation to keep you on track. If you feel overwhelmed, it's a sign to scale back. Break tasks into smaller, bite-sized pieces. On the flip side, if you're bored or procrastinating, raise the stakes. Try a high-energy writing sprint or post daily progress updates on social media for a little public accountability. The Yerkes-Dodson law reminds us that productivity thrives on balance. A little pressure can be a powerful motivator, but only if you stay within your personal sweet spot. So whether it's micro deadlines, accountability, or raising the stakes, experiment to find what works best for you. Writing doesn't have to be a stressful sprint or a lazy stroll. It can be a steady, enjoyable climb toward your goals. Let me ask you this. How many times have you skipped a writing day because you didn't have the energy, time, or inspiration? Then the next day, it feels even harder to get back into it, like pushing a stalled car up a hill. That's where the never zero approach comes in. The idea is simple. Write something every single day, even if it's just a single sentence. You've kept your streak alive. Why? Because a day without writing is momentum lost, but a day with even the tiniest effort is a step forward. Over time, those steps add up to miles. It's not about hitting a huge word count every day. It's about staying consistent. You're training your brain to see writing as a daily habit, just like brushing your teeth or having your morning coffee. Here's how you can put the never zero approach into action. Start small. 50 words a day. That's about 2 sentences. On days when you're feeling uninspired or exhausted, it's manageable. And if you're on a roll, you'll easily exceed that. There's something incredibly satisfying about watching your progress. Use a habit tracker app or simply mark an X on your calendar for each day you write. Seeing those X's stack up can be a powerful motivator to keep you going. Even small wins deserve acknowledgement. Give yourself a high five, reward yourself with a treat, or take a moment to reflect on your growing streak. Over time, these daily words compound into thousands, and those thousands turn into chapters, and those chapters will make a whole book. The beauty of Never Zero approach is in its simplicity. It takes the pressure off. There's no expectation to write a masterpiece every day, just a commitment to show up. Because when you show up consistently, even in small ways, you build momentum, confidence, and progress. Writing becomes less about waiting for inspiration and more about creating it, one sentence at a time. Let me take you back to when I first started writing. I made myself a deal. I could only indulge in a fancy coffee, the kind with the perfect swirl of foam and maybe a little sprinkle of cinnamon, when I was drafting my novel. And you know what? That coffee turned into a beacon of motivation. I started looking forward to my writing time just as much as I look forward to the coffee. But let's be honest, coffee helps a ton. This little trick is called temptation bundling. It's about pairing something you love with something you need to do. In this case, writing. Here's how you can make temptation bundling work for you. What brings you joy? Maybe it's your favorite playlist, a cozy blanket, or a delicious treat. Whatever it is, only allow yourself to enjoy it while writing. Second one is build positive associations. Over time, your brain starts linking these pleasures with your writing routine. Suddenly, sitting down to write feels like a reward in itself. That coffee, it's no longer just a drink, it's a creative ritual. Choose something that enhances your writing time without distracting you. If song lyrics throw you off, opt for instrumental music. If snacks tempt you into mindless munching, try a warm drink instead. Temptation bundling transforms writing from something you have to do into something you want to do. By pairing your creative work with simple pleasures, you can make writing time feel irresistible and maybe even a little luxurious. So go ahead, grab your favorite drink, wrap yourself in that cozy blanket, and let the words flow. Have you ever worked in a library or a cozy cafe surrounded by people quietly working on their own tasks? There's something about that shared atmosphere of focus. It's almost contagious. Even though everyone's doing their own thing, the energy in the room somehow keeps you on track. That's the magic of body doubling. Body doubling is about leveraging the presence of others, whether in person or virtual, to help you stay focused. It's not about collaboration, it's about collective focus. Here's how you can try body doubling for yourself. Find a writing buddy. Your buddy could be a friend, a fellow writer, or even a virtual stranger on a co-working platform like FocusMate. The idea is to have someone there working alongside you. It doesn't matter if they're writing, designing, or studying. The shared focus is what matters. Set clear boundaries before you start. During writing sprints, it's heads down, no chatting, and you should save the conversations for later. Once the sprint is over, take a few minutes to share what you accomplished. A little accountability can go a long way in keeping you motivated and on track. I'll be honest, I don't personally use this method. As an introvert, the idea of working with someone else, even virtually, doesn't appeal to me. I thrive in my own quiet bubble. But I know many writers swear by it, which is why I included it here. If you're someone who finds motivation in shared energy, body doubling might be just what you need to boost your productivity. Who knows? It might even turn writing into something you look forward to, not just for the work, but for the connection. Imagine sitting at your desk, ready to write, but your mind feels like a noisy crowd. Random thoughts, distractions, and doubts pulling you in every direction. Now close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, imagine those thoughts settling, like snowflakes drifting to the bottom of a shaken globe. The noise quiets, the clutter clears. That's the power of mindfulness. It creates space for your best ideas to emerge. Mindfulness isn't just a new thing. It's not a buzzword. It's a scientifically backed practice that can improve focus, reduce stress, and enhance creativity. Studies from institutions like Harvard and UCLA have shown that mindfulness meditation can increase gray matter in the brain, particularly in areas responsible for learning, memory, and self-awareness. For writers, this means sharper focus, deeper emotional connection, and fewer distractions during your creative process. Before you begin, spend just 5 minutes focusing on your breathing. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and breathe naturally. If your mind wanders, gently guide it back to your breath. Apps like Calm, Headspace, or Insight Timer can help you get started. This simple practice primes your mind for focus and creative work. Writing can be intense, so take mini mindfulness breaks to recharge. Inhale deeply for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and exhale for 4 counts. Deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which lowers stress and improves focus, helping you return to your writing with fresh energy. As you write, you might catch yourself overthinking or doubting your work. Instead of criticizing yourself, acknowledge the distraction and gently refocus on your writing. This non-judgmental approach trains your brain to stay present and reduces the fear of imperfection, which can paralyze creativity. A study published in the Journal of Cognitive Enhancement found that regular mindfulness practice improves working memory and reduces mental fatigue. For writers, this means staying sharp during long writing sessions and finding it easier to weave complex ideas together. Another study from the University of Waterloo reveals that mindfulness reduces mind wandering and boosts focus. Perfect for when you're trying to finish a tricky scene or untangle a plot hole. Mindfulness isn't about perfection or completely silencing your thoughts. It's about being present in the moment, whether you're brainstorming a scene, drafting a chapter, or editing your final manuscript. By integrating mindfulness into your writing routine, you're not just improving your productivity, you're cultivating a deeper connection with your creativity. So, Take a breath, settle the snow globe of your mind, and let your words flow with calm and clarity. Writing with presence isn't just good for your work, it's also good for your soul. Let me share something with you. Every time I've finished the first draft of a novel, any novel, I've felt like throwing a party. Now, these drafts weren't perfect. They were full of plot holes, typos, and characters that probably need a little more personality. But none of that mattered. That moment was about celebrating progress. It reminded me of how far I'd come, from starting a blank page to building a whole world. It's the same sense of achievement as creating something from nothing, kind of like making a baby. I'm sorry, children. These small celebrations aren't just fun, they're essential. They keep you motivated, especially during those long stretches when finishing a project feels impossible. And here's the science behind it. Research shows that recognizing small victories, like hitting a daily word count or crafting a perfect sentence, can build momentum. Each step forward, no matter how minor, reinforces a sense of accomplishment and keeps you moving toward your bigger goals. Celebrating small wins transforms writing from one daunting, overwhelming task into a series of manageable, achievable milestones. It's not just about feeling good, it's about fueling your drive to keep going, especially during those inevitable rough patches. Here's how you can start integrating small celebrations in your writing journey. At the end of each writing session, jot down what you accomplished. Maybe you finally nailed a tricky scene or hit your daily word count. Seeing those wins accumulate over time is incredibly rewarding. Don't just celebrate when you finish your entire novel. Celebrate finishing a chapter, solving a plot problem, or even surviving a tough writing day. These smaller milestones keep the journey exciting. Share your progress in a writing group or on social media. It might feel intimidating at first, but the encouragement you get can be a game changer. Plus, celebrating together adds another layer of joy to your achievements. Small wins aren't small at all. They're the fuel that keeps you going. By pausing to recognize and celebrate your progress, you remind yourself of how much you've accomplished and how capable you are of reaching your goals. Writing a novel or any project isn't just about the final word on the last page. It's about every step you take along the way. So throw that mini party, even if it's just a fist bump or your favorite snack. You've earned it. Keep celebrating those wins, and before you know it, you'll be celebrating the bigger ones too. Imagine you wake up already knowing when you'll write because you've aligned it with your personal peak time. You light that scented candle, your cue, slip on your writing socks, and get that gentle rush of anticipation. You fire up your Pomodoro timer, block out distractions, and see your word count steadily climb. You're in it, the zone, the flow, whatever you call it. By the time you glance at the clock, an hour or two has vanished, and you have the satisfying weight of fresh pages waiting to be edited. Alright, let's bring it all together. Here's your roadmap for turning your writing goals into reality. Pay attention to your circadian and ultradian rhythms to find your prime writing times. When you align with your natural energy cycles, writing feels less like a struggle and more like flow. Consistency is key. Create daily writing rituals using cues and embrace the never zero rule. Write something every day, no matter how small. Set yourself up for success. Use the Pomodoro technique to stay focused, block distractions with tools like Do Not Disturb mode, and try body doubling if you thrive in shared energy spaces. Find your sweet spot with the Yerkes-Dodson law. Pair writing with simple pleasures through temptation bundling and celebrate small wins to keep your motivation alive. Writing isn't just about output, it's about presence. Use mindfulness techniques to clear your head, reduce stress, and stay connected to your creativity. Now, here's the thing. None of these strategies will work if they stay theoretical. You don't need to do all of them at once. Pick one. Start small and build from there. Whether it's testing your best writing time, setting a tiny daily goal, or simply taking a mindful breath before you start, as long as you take that first step today. Because writing isn't just about finishing a book or hitting a word count. It's about creating a process you love and can stick with. And that process, it starts with action. So go on and make it happen. Now, I want to hear from you. Which strategy are you most excited to try first? Are you a night owl experimenting with that midnight spark? Or will you embrace the power of Pomodoro tomorrow morning? Drop a comment below sharing your plan. I'd love to see how you're taking these ideas and making them your own. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more hands-on strategies to level up your writing life. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you'll never miss future tips on honing your creativity and productivity. But if you really love this video, there's a downloadable PDF of everything we talked about for as little as $1. Links in the description. Anything to support the channel will do. It's all for coffee for now. Specifically Nespresso nowadays. Fund my new Nespresso machine, please. Again, I'm Lucas, an indie author on the same journey as you, figuring out how to squeeze every drop of magic out of our writing sessions. Remember, with the right tools and mindset, you can tap into your flow state anytime. Keep writing and stay inspired. Now, if you want to trigger your reader's flow state while reading your story, I highly suggest you to click on this video. I'll leave it up for a couple of seconds. Click it, click it, click it, click it.